Howard, a recently retired 65-year-old, has $900,000 saved, but recent economic changes and shifts to government programs have him worried that he retired at the wrong time. Will his plan shine through, or should he reevaluate his position? Find out next on Rise in Retirement. Welcome to Rise in Retirement,
where it is our goal to help optimize and simplify your financial plan.
I'm Jet.
And I'm Taco.
We are financial advisors at W.A. Smith Financial Group, a firm trusted by thousands of individuals, clients. We work with people all over the U.S., helping you focus more on your life and worry less about your money. And today, we are talking about 65-year-old Howard and his hypothetical case example.
Yeah, so Howard's got $900,000 saved. He was recently retired. However, he's reading the headlines all over. Media is hitting him up with government changes and policies and how they're going to impact the markets and
economic shifts,
volatility and recessions. And we have all these things that are going to wreak havoc on your retirement plans.
What do we refer to this as internally here at the office? What do we call it?
Dirty water. This is the dirty water.
Howie's drinking the dirty water, guys.
Yeah, so
it's easy to do.
It's easy to do, and it puts the, kind of the negatives in your head of going, gosh, did I retire too soon? Is this going to impact me now? Do I have a plan that actually can weather this storm? Should I go back to work? You just start doubting yourself because the more the media picks this stuff up, the more just true it sounds. It's got to be true. Everybody's saying it now. So This will be a fun one here because we see this very, very often where media headlines can really cause not havoc to your portfolio. It's more havoc to your mental behavior at the end of the day.
This stuff can dominate your psyche.
Yeah.
As if you don't have enough risks and obstacles that are general and traditional in nature when you enter retirement, stuff like inflation and cost of living and health and medical and taxes, you tend to focus on the headlines and what they could or maybe potentially might mean to the market, the economy, and then in turn you and your money. So I want to say that it's still prudent. I don't want you guys to catch us the wrong way and say, hey, ignore this stuff. You want to be in the know to a level, but you have to refocus and rephrase it and think about, okay, how will this stuff that I'm reading, the things that could potentially happen and the outcomes that could potentially occur, how will it actually affect me?
Yeah.
And my money specifically? Because you can get so far off base here.
Yeah. And do you have a plan that does address that? I mean, that's going to be the key topic as we go along here. And so if you want to know if you have a plan that can weather these storms, one of the things that I would recommend highly is if you go to riseinretirement.com, we are offering a free 30-minute phone call with a member of our advisory team to begin talking through your situation, answering the questions that you may have or concerns that you have out there. So highly recommend take advantage of that. If you do so from today's video, we will make sure that is personally set with either Jet or myself, and we would love to have that conversation. So
absolutely. riseinretirement.com. Jinx, as my children would say. So let's jump into Howie or Howard, 65 years old. He's got $900,000. He just retired, single. 2 kids, no grandkids. He does have some debt. The only debt that he has left is his primary mortgage. Payment schedule says that mortgage, if he just maintains that regular payment, will be paid off in 5 years, or by the time he turns about 70 years old.
Yep.
$600,000 of his $900K was a 401k that was all pre-tax money that he rolled into a traditional IRA. $100,000 is in a Roth IRA. That's just from contributing to Roth over the years because he was eligible and able to do that. $100,000 is in a taxable brokerage account, and it's kind of his play account. He's not a do-it-yourselfer. He's kind of just had this buy and hold mentality, sought advice from financial people here and there.
Likes a couple companies.
Yeah, but he's got a little account that he does dabble with lightly in trading stocks. He's not day trading or anything like that, but he does pick up some tips. And, when he's golfing with buddies and that kind of thing, it comes up, I might buy a stock. So
yep.
And then he's got $100,000 in his checking and savings. So he's got a nice chunk of cash sitting there available. Goal is simple. He wants to retire, which he just did, and maintain his modest lifestyle using his nest egg, that 900K, to supplement income. And he wants to spend a little bit more now that he's retired monthly than he was when he was working, right? So, and we'll go through income examples and all that. Yeah. But risk tolerance is moderate.
And please note that he wants to spend more in retirement. It drives me nuts, Jet, when people come in and think, because they read headlines here too, that the rules are, you can drop your income by 70% and you're going to have why would you want to spend 30% less than what you were spending while you were working?
Yeah.
Now, will his costs go down because of that mortgage coming off? Yes, that's being addressed within the budget, but he's being realistic and saying, hey, every day is going to be Saturday and I want to spend money.
Yeah, we did a video a couple of weeks ago here where we talked about someone who is kind of the opposite of Howard, right? They thought that they could spend less, didn't quite work out to them. They didn't think long and hard enough about how they were going to spend their time, and they were unhappy in retirement. Howard's the opposite.
Yep.
He is the type of guy who wakes up, he should be retired. He lives to be retired.
Knows what he wants to do.
He knows what he wants to do, how he's going to spend his time. He's got a routine. So all that's covered. The nice thing about Howard, and this is really important, and you guys might all put yourself in this place. I promise you're not all going to qualify for this description I give. He's a moderate investor, but he's realistic about what markets are, how to play the game, the risk that it entails. He has discipline. He's able to maintain course through thick and through thin. He also realizes that now that he's retired and wants to start spending this, that his risk tolerance might need to change, and that could be a prudent move for him. So that's key, because we see a lot of people who think that they can do it, and then when the script flips on you and you go from saving money and putting it in to taking it out and spending it, you realize really quickly how hard it is to be as aggressive as you once were.
Yep. So the objective now, for Howard is to determine if the plan he has or is building, for retirement will support those goals, and make for a stress-free retirement at the end of the day. Determine if any current economic and fiscal situations, the government changes policies, if, these things will actually have an impact. Are they actually a cause for concern for him? Or should he ignore it, drown out the noise here at the end of the day? And so a little more detail. He's got an income goal of about $7,000 per month gross. That's what he needs. He's got $2,800 per month coming in from Social Security. He's got a $2,000 per month pension
Nice.
as well. So we're looking at a shortfall right now, current day, of about $2,200 a month, which is a withdrawal rate of 2.9%, and only improving, because 5 years from now, when the mortgage comes off, it's probably only about a 1.5% withdrawal rate at that point. So in really good shape there.
Those of you who are repeat viewers, then you know how important we think withdrawal rates are. They're the foundation for how we assess a lot of situations. So you'll know that Howard gets a green light from that withdrawal. The picture you just painted, Taco, 2.93%. But we know in 5 years, unless his expenses change drastically, that number is going to go down again,
right?
Because the mortgage is going to fall off. So he's green light all the way. He's mainly worried about current policy, economic shifts, changes to government programs and laws, drinking the dirty water, thinking, gosh, if this hits the fan, if this hits the fan, if that hits the fan, this could all change for me.
Yeah.
And so what we got to get to the bottom of with Howard is, and we can use some examples, is if this or that or this happens, how does it actually affect you, Howard? Or are you completely overblowing this in your mind? Right? Before we get there, we mentioned riseandretirement.com. We have some excellent free guides there. Link in the description below. Go over to riseandretirement.com. Sign up for Ascend 360 Insider. It's a weekly video email series, completely complimentary, great educational topic every Thursday morning. Taco, you mentioned the 30-minute free phone call. Book a call with Andrew or I. Talk about your specific scenario. That is free. You can sign up and schedule that on riseandretirement.com. So don't forget to head over there today.
Perfect. Yep. So as we head into the assessment, red light, yellow light, green light, first if we do see, if Howard sees these major government changes and policies, all the things that he's hearing in the headlines, what impacts could he have?
Well,
what could actually impact him?
regardless of what the change is, if it's an economic shift, if it's fundamental based, say it's inflation based, or it's unemployment or underemployment, or all the number of different key indicators and fundamental, indicators that you can look at, the number one thing that everybody has to think about is how it will affect the market in the now. Because we've seen enough to know that when something happens from an economic or fiscal, comes out of Washington, whatever it is, all of those things ultimately have the ability to affect markets. That effect could be short term, could be intermediate, could be long. And you don't have a crystal ball, and neither does your financial professional. I hate to break it to you, but we are not soothsayers. We can't predict this stuff. We have educated guesses. We have a team that has the expertise to formulate really good working theories as to where this can go, but none of us know, truthfully. Hate to break it to you. That's the number one thing, is it can affect the market, and then in turn how your money is invested and what the result is.
Sure.
But that's not even what we're really talking about.
Yeah.
That's just, we know that to be sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's being sold on, that we're going to see inflation that's going to make his dollar, not be able to buy anything anymore, and supply chains are fully disrupted, and, all these things. I mean, the gold bugs start coming out heavy, and so it's these media headlines that are just getting him starting to question his plan. But
and just look it could be interest rate driven discussion on interest rates. Should they go up? Should they go down? How will that affect your money and your stocks and your bonds and your investments? It could be tariffs. It could be a change to Social Security's program by law. It could be a number of different things. And you read it all in and you immediately get worried. In reality, so let's say some of these changes affect Howard's expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So cost of goods and services go up. Can Howard weather that storm at a 2.93% withdrawal rate currently that's going to drop?
Yeah. I mean, I think the withdrawal rate at this time is so low. He's got the assets. He's going to have a fully paid for home in 5 years. That's an asset at the end of the day. That if any of these factors do come into play and lead to, him having to spend more due to inflation, or potentially the 900 dropping a little bit because of market volatility, he's got room to balloon.
Mm-hmm.
His withdrawal rate can go up a little bit.
Balloon, yeah.
And so I think he's a green light. He's a green light, and he's got room to avoid any danger at this time. So to me, it's about he's willing to build a financial plan. Like you said, he's willing to make adjustments that are needed right now to assure that he's got that income stream coming in from his assets, from Social Security, from the pension, to where he shouldn't be sitting here too worried about the rest of his money. He's got time.
Here's an idea. Howard's the type of guy, and I don't know if this would be the advice that I would specifically give him, but it would be worth a thought. With what he has and how low his withdrawal rate is, it was $2,200 a month now, and then it's even less when the mortgage goes away. So let's look out 5 years from now. Let's take the $2,200. Let's subtract the mortgage payment that's going to go away from it. Mm-hmm. There's your new shortfall at a minimum for the rest of your life if you maintain this standard of living, which is this plan.
Yep.
Let's solve for that number, that future number. Let's say it's $1,100 or it's $1,200. You got enough money, Howard, to take a chunk of your portfolio. You could buy an annuity to replace that income and have it be on a guaranteed contractual basis.
Yeah.
Howard could do a number of different things, but he has enough money to just take care of the income need, which increases his risk capacity on the remainder to 100%.
Exactly.
And so it might sound simple, but he needs to stop drinking the dirty water. My takeaway, he's getting way too carried away with what his friends on the golf course are saying, with what he's seeing in the newspaper and on the daily news and the headlines. And he's losing sight of, you have so much in front of you that you can control that eliminates all of this dirty water from affecting you financially.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the key, my key takeaway is, you said it, define some purpose to your money, have an income, bucket, if you will, so that way you know exactly where income's coming from. So that way you don't have to worry about all the other stuff. We live by our mission here, which is to ensure that our clients focus more on their life, worry less about their money. That would be my number one goal for Howard, is to get to that place of, Howard, just go focus on your life and have fun. And stop worrying and reading the headlines.
Wouldn't it be great if Howard could look at the money that was invested in the market that is affected by all this stuff and look at it in an opportunistic fashion versus a defensive position?
Exactly.
Like that's really what we're talking about, is let's get you to a place where you actually like it when markets drop, because what that does is gives you opportunity to capitalize on that opportunity.
Absolutely.
So yeah, excellent. Make sure you go to riseandretirement.com. Link in the description below. Request your 30-minute free phone call. You can talk to Andrew or I about your specific situation. Request a number of free educational resources there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn that bell notification on. We are here with you every Sunday on Rise and Retirement. We are out of time.
Yeah, that'll do it here for this week. We'll see you next week right here on Rise in Retirement.